Greetings from Christian News and Interviews. So, it's becoming more and more dangerous to work not only in convenience stores, but in fast food restaurants. I remember years ago, I saw two women jump behind the counter of, I think it was a McDonald's, and the man attacked them with a bat. One must never, ever, ever go behind the counter, no matter how angry you are, no matter how horribly you feel about the fact that your order was not correctly handled. It is so dangerous to go behind the counter of a store. That's not where you belong. You're putting your life in your own hands when you do that, because the people who work there may have a gun, a knife, a sword, boiling water, lie, anything. Listen to this. This happened in Dallas, Texas. A woman and her daughter are suing Taco Bell after employees at one of the restaurants in Dallas allegedly dumped a bucket of boiling water on them, causing severe burns and brain function damage. Lawyers for the victims are asking for more than $1 million in damages from the defendants. Let me skim down. The incident allegedly occurred June the 17th, when Brittany Davis and her daughter, a minor child, well, when you look at the picture of the girl in a minute, she may be under 18, but she's nobody's child. She's a big girl. Identified in the lawsuit, only a CT entered the Taco Bell on Abrams Road. I'm not going to get into Ben Crump's spill about how his heart breaks, and I'm not even going to get into that. After their $31 order had been prepared twice incorrectly in the drive-thru, the two customers entered the Taco Bell with their receipt and food bag, with an employee letting them into a dining room and locking the door behind them, according to this lawsuit. After discussing the order with the two customers for nearly 10 minutes, the lawsuit claims that the employees refused to prepare the food they had paid for and became combative. Well, I'm going to show you the video in a minute. Unfortunately, there's no sound, so we don't know what happened. But I do believe there was a heated argument. Inexplicably, the Taco Bell manager, a Hispanic female, Jane Doe, who had not been involved in any of the conversations in the dining room, came from behind the counter with a scalding bucket of water. Okay, let me pause here. This is one of those cases where you're basically telling me not to believe my own eyes. Whoever wrote this said that inexplicably, she came at them with the water. It wasn't inexplicable. You are going to see the video of the two of them walking behind the counter. You don't do that. As a matter of fact, let me read one more section and then I'm going to show you all the video. The two victims claim that they tried to run out of the Taco Bell screaming, but the door had been locked, and that the manager came at them with a second bucket. The suit says the two victims ran to their car, and CT began taking off her clothes to try and minimize the burning, while her mother began having seizures due to the trauma. The mother apparently had about 10 seizures. Okay, so I'm going to now let you all view this for yourself, and then I'm going to discuss. Okay, so they're in the store. I'm pretty sure that it was a heated discussion. Must be after hours because there's no one else there. There are no other customers there. Apparently they're having this back and forth about the food. The order supposedly was put in wrong twice. Right now they are where they belong, which is in front of the counter. That's where you belong. You do not belong behind the counter, you belong in front of it. Right now they are in front of it, but my guess is that they're having a heated argument about this food. People need to stay out of fast food restaurants. I believe that food makes people crazy. They had pause. Okay. Did you see them behind the counter just now? Let's look at this again. Okay. They went from being in front of the counter to now they are behind the counter where they don't belong. See, where they belong is in front of the counter. See, this is where they belong. Once you take that step and you're behind the counter, now it's war. And in my opinion, if you step behind the counter and you get shot, stabbed, or whatever, you should not be able to sue because the people behind that counter have the right to assume that you are about to do them bodily harm. So the mother and the daughter went behind the counter. It's an unfortunate incident. You don't want to see anybody get burned or maimed. But what are these people supposed to do? They don't know what these women are up to. They go behind the counter where they didn't belong. And there is the hot scalding water. They're running. Mother and daughter. And here she is with some more scalding water. So she meant business. This is another angle. And she goes back to get some more. This one was not playing. Okay? So I'll just end by saying this. No matter how angry you are about your order, do not go behind the counter. This woman had scalding water, but she could have had a gun. And these days, people are using those guns that they have, especially in places like Texas and Florida. Those people use their weapons. So, very unfortunate incident. You don't want to see anybody get burned. But please, people, stay away from fast food restaurants. I believe that food is making people crazy. All that processed junk. But if you must go to a fast food restaurant and people get the order wrong, for God's sake, please don't go behind the counter. Stay tuned.